everybody! Welcome to Let's Look at Downwell. Downwell is an action platformer slash shoot 'em up slash roguelite. I've heard some people refer to it as an inverted doodle jump, which is actually not a bad conceptual way to kind of understand what's going on here. But there's a little bit more going on with that. There's some spelunky elements, the roguelite elements are strong here, and it's also $3 GD, which is not like, you know, Great Deutschland or anything like that. I meant gosh darn. So this entire conversation about whether or not the game is worth it is going to be pretty much predicated on whether or not it's worth your time as opposed to your money, because this is definitely on the cheaper side as far as indie games go. Especially something that's in the, I wouldn't necessarily call it a quote-unquote triple-I indie, but it is published by Devolver Digital, so it's got some clout behind it and some notoriety. Let's get down here because I accidentally tripped, and I will try to explain what the heck is going on with Downwell, and we'll talk about those styles later, we'll talk about other stuff like this later. I have played, I'm just going to pause it here because things start to move very fast once we start to play. I played about an hour of this, and I played it on the NLSS, so I was able to crowdsource, basically the elements of the game that I might be missing, but the general goal of Downwell is that we play as this man here. I'm going to call him Mr. Downwell because that seems appropriate. And our goal is to descend in this area down here with our gun boots. So the gun boots are kind of our gimmick, if you want to be a little bit cynical about it. Our gimmick that allows us to proceed through these levels, and we'll get upgrades to these gun boots as time goes on. We also have the opportunity to get gems, which you can see right there. I wonder if I can even get that one up at the top if I really go for it. The wall jump is a little tricky sometimes, but I think that's by design. It's kind of a score attacky, combo-based game in the sense that you get more gems the greater your combo is, and your combo goes up. I think I might have broken it there. Your combo goes up by the number of consecutive enemies that you stomp on or crush, I believe. It might actually just be stomp on, as we'll see when we get down here. Your gun boots have a set amount of ammo, but the way the progression kind of works is that every time you pick up a weapon... Oh my god, such bad damage. Every time you pick up a weapon modification or anything along those lines, you get... either more battery charges or you replenish some HP. So right now I have 10 battery charges, but as you can see, if you look at the delineations on the meter, the laser fires 4 per shot, so I can really only fire 2.5 times, basically. Let's take gain 4 HP as far as our upgrade goes here. It's one of those games, there's other examples I could probably point to, but I want to call it like Dandy right now. You know, the game that Nick and I played on the NLSS that one time, if you recall. But the way that Dandy worked is every time you finish the level, you got to pick from 3 upgrades, and that's basically how this works as well. And we get our choice between 3 shop items. I'm gonna take car battery, which is the only, if I buy that, that's the only one I can afford, but it also gives me intervals of 4 as far as our aiming, or sorry, our ammo goes, which means that I should be able to get 1 extra laser shot if I've run my basic arithmetic properly, which now that I've said that, obviously I've cursed myself and I haven't. This one actually gave us HP, now we have a machine gun. So the way that you replenish your HP, to put this in as easy a phrase as possible, the way that you replenish your HP is by picking up new weapons or buying items that give you HP. The way that you replenish your ammo is just by landing on an enemy. Anytime you land on an enemy or on the ground, it replenishes all of your ammo. So your goal on a micro level is to get good combos, survive, and generate enough gems so that you can keep upgrading yourself, and then eventually there is a boss in the game. As far as I've heard, but I've never actually made it that far, so we'll find out. See, again, the gems are kind of like a means to an end. The actual end is your success. Ideally, at least. So we actually got a decent combo going there. We're going to try to get more. What's really cool about Downwell is, as you're probably noticing, although I will admit the game moves pretty freaking fast, but you're probably noticing that the enemies are a little different. Like, we're dead. Not every enemy is exactly the same. Some enemies you can jump on, like those jellyfish slime type enemies we saw there. It's also very fast paced, as you can tell. That run was okay, and it still ended in 2.5 minutes. But the way that those enemies are varied is also conveyed in a visual style. So enemies that are like bright red, you do not want to jump on. There's also other various palettes here in case you don't like that. You might be thinking the matcha style is like oh, that was such bad damage. You might be thinking the matcha style is a little visually aggressive right now, but I assure you it's nothing. There's some of them that are in here that I think solely exist to be a little bit humorous, if that makes sense. Like, let me put on Virtual Boy, V-Boy. This actually, after about 10 seconds, makes me want to look away from the screen. Nuclear and Grandma are not so bad, but I prefer to run Downwell, because not be like any overarching sense of, oh, this is the way the game is meant to be played or anything like that, just because this one doesn't hurt my eyes. And I don't think that's a selfish reason to stick with the palette. Ah, my combo didn't get as strong as I'd like there. But yeah, the enemies are all color-coded, so you know if an enemy is like transparent or kind of like translucent at least. I should be able to get up there. You know that you'll be able to jump on it. Turtles, on the other hand, their shells are translucent, but if you try to shoot them, they won't work. And then there's enemies you saw, maybe those eyes that were chasing us down, they're just completely red. If we try to jump on them, we're not going to be in a good position. Similarly, those guys with their shells there, those snails, we can't jump on them, they will hurt us with their spiky shells. Instead, we have to shoot them. So the real crux of the game, the loop, is that you're going extremely fast, but you have to identify these enemies right off the bat and be like, okay, is that an enemy I can jump on? Let's try bullet casings deal damage. You know, is that an enemy I can jump on? Is that an enemy I have to shoot? Or is that an enemy that I maybe just want to avoid? And, oh, I've messed this one up. Something fierce. And while doing that, you also want to keep your combo going, so you've got to, like, develop an actual course of action to deal with them. And then there's the whole roguelike-ish kind of envelope that wraps it in. You know, do I want this weapon? Shotgun. It changes our ammo consumption, but it might be advisable for us to take. And then again, I can't stress enough the whole combo thing, although I did die there. By the way, I'm going to be pretty bad at Downwell. Despite playing it for like an hour, I'm still pretty poor. But it really is one of those games that does a fantastic job of putting you in a flow state, which is a kind of a buzzword I've used before, and I do like using it, because it reminds me of stuff like Super Hexagon or Audio Surf. Basically, like, rhythm games are really big for it, and even though this isn't a rhythm game, it kind of has a similar gameplay loop of like very quick pattern recognition. A lot of platformers are like this as well too, in my opinion at least. And like, yeah, very quick pattern recognition and then just like execution to kind of an absurd degree. And it's one of those games where progress is kind of incremental in terms of your own like level of mastery. But it also happens relatively quickly. Like, the first time I played it, I was just god-awful. You know, you can really only choose one thing to focus on the first time you play it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on bouncing. I don't know what any of these items do. I'm just gonna bounce like I'm, you know, from the post-chorus area of R. Kelly's remix to Ignition. Getting gems recharges gun boots. Seems like it could be good. And even to this day, I'm still in that kind of like early roguelike position where I'm like, I don't understand the value propositions for many of the upgrades or the items themselves. So I don't know what I prefer. Do I prefer Noppy? Do I prefer laser? Do I prefer shotgun? Do I prefer spread gun? I don't know. I'm just kind of along for the ride at this point. But what makes it work is that the actual gameplay itself is just extremely satisfying and really finely tuned. Oh, I can't believe I missed that one. And again, the fact that this is another kind of super hexagon-y element almost, but the fact that each run can take anywhere from like 2 to 10 minutes makes it extremely replayable in a way that a lot of roguelikes kind of aren't. I mean, well, let's just see what we can buy here. Heals 1 HP, 1 charge, heals 2 HP, plus 1 charge. We'll just buy plus 1 charge, because for once we don't need HP. But, you know, a nuclear throne run might take you like 10 minutes. That's fair, if you're as bad as I am, at least. That was poor damage on my part. Puncher. This is like super low range, but a lot of shots, or like really fast rate of fire, I think. But a Spelunky run, you know, an Isaac run, those are going to take you half an hour, 40 minutes, sometimes a full hour, depending on how they actually go. This has the benefit of being much, much faster than that. Which is not to say that it's necessarily better, but it is different and definitely more frenetically paced is what I would describe it as. So there are different areas as well. Like, we've only been in the caverns so far. That's because I'm doing real badly. But it is theoretically possible that we will get higher than that. So we do get our combo extended for killing enemies as well, I'm noticing. Which might be something I want to focus on instead of bouncing. Although bouncing does recharge our gun boots, so I think that's still like is the king of the combo generators here. Really hate those eyes. Bats can be annoying, but they're kind of the lesser of two evils. Got pretty lucky there. It's also really neat how your weapon is also what allows you to locomote. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Luftrausers a little bit. Let's heal for 1 and buy 1 HP max. think we need the HP more than anything else. Yeah, like, your locomotion and your offense are sort of the same thing. Which is a really interesting kind of gameplay style you see from time to time, but not necessarily that often. Again, gives it a little bit of an edge in terms of uniqueness. Shotgun. Bucket contained a couple of gems. Oh, many things went wrong there, but that's okay. We're doing well on HP. We cleared 1-3, which I think means we're moving on to the Catacombs next. Jetpack for use when out of charge. Pretty balloon, knife and fork. Let's try a pretty balloon here. Again, I'm still bereft of the actual strategy involved here, but I'm trying to keep it going regardless. Mostly I find that I'm not at that level that I'm at in, like, Isaac, where my items dictate how the run is gonna go. I'm still at the level of, like, well, if I play like shit, I'm gonna die. Oh, just drop. That's dangerous. Still going. Those red blocks, by the way, are spikes. You might be noticing some awesome music. This music kind of reminds me of, like, Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. But, the music is actually done by... I hope I'm not mispronouncing his name, but I think it's Eric Surka, who did the music for the Spelunky HD, well, soundtrack, I guess, but just the game specifically. So there's definitely, like, an element of that pedigree as well. Now, the Catacombs are very dangerous because... Oh, Nappy, I don't know about this one. It fires, like, at terrible accuracy and low damage, but lots of ammo. Kind of like a pop gun in Nuclear Throne or something like that. I don't know, this combo is actually going pretty well. But yeah, there's the red blocks, if you land on them, spikes get created and pop up and try to hit you, and then there's just difficult enemies as well. Let's try blocks will shoot out bullets when destroyed. We're getting pretty close to the furthest I've ever been. Oh, there goes my combo. I guess I maybe should have tried to move there. Gotta admit, you know, having more ammo does give you a pretty easy out as far as, like, maneuvering. We don't have any gems because I haven't finished my combo yet. Let's try to wall jump out of here. The wall jump, oh, I didn't get hit. Now I can go buy something, but I've already gone too far down. Oh, careful. The wall jump, you have to go to the wall, and then you press jump and push in the opposite direction of the wall at the same time. So it's not just as easy as hitting the button right next to it, but that makes it a little bit more of a, I don't know, late beginner level technique instead of just, like, something you do right off the bat all the time. Got shotgun. This time it gave us HP, so we've improved ourselves. I like how the upgrades are kind of tied into the consumable system as well. Like, you know, it's always about resource management. You're managing your HP, you're managing your gems, and stuff like that. But I like how, like, those are all tied together in a way. So, like, you might find an upgrade. Let's try increases range and increases accuracy. You might find an upgrade, quote-unquote upgrade, you don't want. Like, for example, I might not want Nappy next time it shows up. Puncher. However, I might be low on HP, so I kind of have to take it because it will give me either more charges or more HP, and those are both, you know, necessary resources for us to succeed here. We're getting some... Oh, if I could have stomped on that enemy, I would have been in heaven. I can't believe... This is the largest combo I've ever done. And we've made it to the shop, so we can buy something. We can't buy the curry. Let's just buy the rice ball for now. We're gonna get a huge payday for gems when this combo ends. We did a 26 combo. It actually healed us in terms of our HP. That's the first time I've ever seen a combo do that. That actually adds another interesting element of, like, risk versus reward, I can imagine. Yeah, we'll try this. We got 2 more charges and also pick up triple shots. We got quite a lot of ammo for that right now. I think we might have made it to a new level for the first time in my Downwell career. Shoot a gun module once to reshuffle it or create a time void when damaged. Shoot a gun module once to reshuffle it. That way we don't get stuck with something we don't want. Although, to be honest with you, I still don't really know what I don't want. I've never made it down to the aquifer before. I'm assuming that part of the trick here is low gravity, and maybe the other part of the trick is that, like you can see there, we have limited oxygen, so we've got to finish relatively quickly. Okay, so white enemies can be stomped on. Oh god. Red enemies cannot be stomped on. That's good. Man, I hate freaking jellyfish, man. What? I think I may have gotten hit by a spiny jellyfish. That's okay. That was like the best run I've ever done. Let's try one of the styles. There's also arm spin style. You only find gun modules and shops are rare. Boulder style, start with more HP, less upgrade options. Levitate style is floaty. We'll just do a boulder style run. I haven't actually done any of these before, so I have no idea how this will actually work. But it's cool that there is that kind of variety. So I guess it's probably high time to start talking about how I actually feel about Downwell. Is it worth a purchase? Yes, absolutely. And the reasons for this are kind of myriad. Not to make this like a 10th grade English essay or something like that, but the first one is that it's $3 goddamn, which doesn't mean you should buy every game that's $3, but it's $3 and it's good. And normally it's kind of like an automatic caveat to, you know, I'll play like a $20 game that I really like, but I'll be like, well, you know, like I do think it's worth $20, but my perception of the value might be different than yours. $20 is a lot of money, so, you know, you should do your own due diligence on that. This is one of the very few times where I'll be like, you know, if you like what you see, you should probably just go pick it up. It's $3 goddamn. You might be able, if you waited for, you know, a few months to pick it up for $1 instead, save $2, and as a result, get yourself a gas station coffee with the proceeds that you saved. But if you are in the business of buying new video games, and, you know, are familiar with the cost of new video games, this is a pretty good value proposition for something that I think you could get, you know, several hours out of. I don't necessarily want to say hundreds, but I think there is a good degree of kind of like that, you know, path to mastery type stuff. Let's try to create time void when damaged. I'm a little salty that I failed that run just when I was starting to get good. So yeah, I would highly recommend it if you like what you see. Would I do a series on it? This is kind of like, this is my ulterior motive for doing this video in the first place. If you like what you're seeing, let me know if you'd watch a series on it, because I was kind of tempted, but at the same time I was like, you know, I don't know how watchable it'll be after like 3 hours. I don't know if it... And this is not meant to be an insult to the game, but merely a concern from the perspective of somebody who, you know, does this for a living is, how watchable is it? Like, is what's happening in the game easy to follow because it moves so quick? I'm not totally sure, but feel free to let me know, because I could easily be persuaded. Another bonus for this game is that it doesn't run in OpenGL, which makes it easy to record while I wait for my 980 to arrive, which is excellent for everybody. It's more content, basically, is what I'm getting at. That was not a smart decision on my part, but the time void could have kept a combo alive longer. Okay. Curry's a little too expensive. We'll get the battery charge, we'll get the rice ball, head down to the next floor. I also, I need to invest some time, I think, in learning when we should spend money and when we should save money. Because maybe it would have been better in that situation to not buy the battery charge and just get the curry instead, or get the curry on the next floor instead. More upgrades to choose from, plus gain 1 HP, so I think we've compensated immediately for that, or early at least, for that boulder style. Sometimes you don't want to shoot an enemy, you just want to walk on top of it, but you shoot it accidentally because, you know, anytime you try to keep yourself in the air, you shoot, and it can be a little disappointing. Triple shot, which is not the game's fault, it's actually a strength of the game. There we go, fall on that guy. 12 combo, 13 combo, 100 gems. It's not, that's not that meaningful, unfortunately. HP's still good. Okay, don't freak out. You still have, like, the starting amount of HP for the other character, for the other style. Got good gems. Good combo starter. I shouldn't have done that. Tell you that much right away. I guess we'll just fall almost to the entire level here. And this should take us to the Catacombs next. This will be the last run we do here. Getting gems recharges gun boots. Then if we can get, like, basically this game's version of Plutonium Hunger, I like that. You can get a synergy going there and just shoot forever. I'm not sure if that replenishes your combo when you step on the torches, but it does replenish your gun boots. Oh, I'm an idiot. You're gonna be saying that a lot if you're playing this. Or maybe that's just me, but... Oh! Yeah, I'm dead. But I died while frozen in time. That's like some supernatural shit. Anyway, this is Downwell. I mean, what you see is what you get, pretty much. It should be clear this is a pretty minimalistic game. Really great soundtrack, really cheap, really fun. There's not really any level of deeper discourse that I have for it right now after only playing for about 90 minutes. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's got some variety to it as well. And of course, it's got the inherent variety from being a roguelite. It's $3. It's pretty cheap on Steam. You can pick it up. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. There will be a link in the video description below to pick it up on Steam if you're interested. And if you enjoyed the video, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.